Hey there, when you travel, I want to help you know what TSA agents expect of you as an airline passenger. Whether this is your first time traveling or whether you commute for work, this video is going to help you with these travel tips. Travel through airport security can be scary for some of you and difficult for some of you, as well as the Transportation Security Administration agents who have to welcome you through their security line. So hopefully this video will give you travel tips on what they expect of you as a passenger. TSA airport security agents want you to do the research and be prepared to go through their security line. They want you to have that liquids bag, that quart-sized clear bag ready to take out when you go through security. You don't need to fumble through your bag to find that liquids bag. Take it out, and then at the end of the security line, put it back somewhere quick until you get to your gate or a bench in security, and then you can get organized later. Do not hold up the line of people behind you who have done their research and packed accordingly. I put my liquids bag at the end of security in the outside pocket of my suitcase. And then when I get to the gate is when I get organized and I transfer it to my carry-on personal item that's gonna go under the airplane seat in front of me. Be sure to stick around to the end to find one thing that customs agents want you to know when you go through international security. When you go through airport security, be sure to have your ID out or your passport and your ticket barcode for them to scan in paper form or in your phone on the Pictures app or on your Airline's app that you have downloaded before you got to the airport. I always keep my ticket barcode thing that I get from my airline on my Pictures or my Photos app because I've taken a screenshot of it so that I don't have to go through to the app and find the picture through an email or anything like that. I keep it in my Photos section. That might help some of you. TSA also wants you to have your shoes untied before you get up to the conveyor belt where you take things out of your backpack or travel bag to go through security. I usually untie my shoes about 3 to 4 people back in line. Now, sometimes airports or different securities at different airport cities do not make you take off shoes, but sometimes they do. Even if it looks like a totally leather shoe, you will still need to take it off in some airports. Now, in the Atlanta airport, we did not have to take off shoes going through regular security around Christmas time, and I will talk about why in a few minutes. When you travel, know that the TSA is receiving threats or notices about threats for our national security that they cannot tell us about. So be gracious to the agents if they all of a sudden say that your sock has to come off for some weird reason. Just be gracious and smile and obey them. If you commute for work or if you're an avid traveler, you know that airport security is a little different in other cities. It's not consistent every day, and that's just a consequence of a large institution. But just know that what you did in one city might not be exactly the same thing that you're gonna have to do in another city. For instance, the Super Bowl was in Atlanta this year, my hometown area, and they are now having sniffing dogs to go through and smell people while they're in line to sniff for dangerous liquids, okay? So we did not have to take off our shoes, and we did not have to take out our liquids bag through regular security. I have pre-check, but my 14-year-old does not, and so I traveled with him over Thanksgiving and had to go through regular security, so that's how I know that. But when we started off in Houston, we did have to take off our shoes and take out our liquids bag. When you travel, do not talk to the TSA agent and make friendly conversation. Do not joke with them. This March, we were going through the Newark airport security, and because some airports security line is a little different sometimes, and I was in regular security, I wasn't listening to the TSA agent. I said, "Are we taking off shoes today?" And she said, "Did I say anything about taking off shoes?" And I did not even respond. I just put my stuff in the gray bin and kept walking. I should have remembered, okay, just do this and listen to what they're saying. And then also, if you joke about anything bad or harmful that you can do to an airplane or on an airplane, or what if I did this? Are you saying I'm gonna do this? You may not fly that day or ever, okay? Just don't do it. I know you're trying to be nice, but when you do make friendly conversation with them, it holds up the line, and the people behind you are getting in more of a hurry. So that's why they just do not want to talk. And learn from me, pack your listening ears before you go through security and listen to what the TSA agents have to say. I still see half empty water bottles, full brand new 16-ounce bottles of water in the trash can before airport security. You cannot take any liquid through airport security that is in a container that's larger than 3.4 ounces. Even if you only have a couple of sips in that water bottle, it cannot go through airport security through the carry-on. If you are checking a bag, and that means you give it to the ticketing person before you even get to security, you can pack however many liquids you want to, and they don't have to go in baggies or anything like that. But the TSA liquids rule says that if you are carrying on liquids, any of them have to go in a container that's 3.4 ounces or less, and the bag needs to be a clear-ish quart-sized bag, and all those liquid containers need to go in here. Now, I have a sister-in-law who was very, very put out that TSA took away her super expensive shampoo bottle because it only had a little bit in there. But they took it away and she didn't follow the rules, so she had to pay the consequences. You, as a smart traveler, having that knowledge is power. If you know that their rule states this, then you will be prepared and won't have to take up time or be disappointed or angry before your vacation even starts. I always travel with Gold Bond diabetic lotion. It is super, super thick, and I found this in the regular lotion aisle, not the travel size lotion aisle in Walmart. And I squirt a lot of it in these little disc containers. These are awesome for traveling with liquids. Anything that you can squish, smush, or something like that with liquid, it needs to go in that liquids bag. But these take up a whole lot less space than the tubes that you may have that are 3.4 ounces. And because this is less, it can go. A lot of people ask me if mascara or if lip gloss is a liquid, and I always put it in my liquids bag because I'm just not sure. And another thing people ask me about are antibacterial wipes. Can they take wet wipes? A lot of people wipe off their tray table or clean their kids' hands or clean off the handles for the next passenger from the damage that their kids have done to it. But those are not liquid if they're in the little packets that you buy, the travel packets, you know, or in a clear baggie. But if they are in a humongous tub like this, there is a lot of liquid in the bottom. So this would not be allowed because it's too big and it's got liquid in it. But those little containers that you put wipes in do not contain liquid, so it can go anywhere in your carry-on bags. Also, when you travel, know that TSA is not responsible if you got to the airport and now you might miss your flight because of the line through airport security. Knowledge is power. Know that you should get to the airport like 2 hours before your flight leaves, and be prepared so that you are not stressed out before your vacation even starts. And I have been there. There have been 1 million people in the TSA line and only one lane open. It makes you so mad. It's the busiest time of day and they only have one person working, but they are a government institution. They might be understaffed. We don't know what's going on. So you be prepared. Knowledge is power. It is not TSA's responsibility to rush so that you can make your flight. When you travel, you know you have to show in America an ID or a passport, some kind of qualified ID. But if you do not have an ID, you can still travel on an airplane. You will be whisked away in airport security and into an office, and they will most likely call a company named Secure Flight. I will list an article below for you that you can read with all kinds of information. It's really cool. That will tell you what this author went through when she forgot her ID or lost her ID. We recommend that you take a picture of your driver's license right now. Keep it. It helps get the ball rolling. And then while you're there, maybe for many hours, you will have to answer like security questions of your history and places you lived and things like that. But it is possible, but it's a headache. When you travel as a gamer, you can take your PS4 or your Xbox, all those things, but know that if the airline does not have room for your carry-on suitcase in the overhead bins above the seats, then they are going to have to check it into the belly of the airplane. That means they're going to stow it underneath all the seats in the luggage compartments. That means all kinds of luggage, suitcases are going to be weighing down on your suitcase. It might get thrown, banged, all that kind of thing. So protect it or put it into your personal item that's going to go under the airplane seat in front of you. CPAP machines, distilled water, liquid medicines do not count as part of your liquids that are going through airport security with carry-on luggage and personal item luggage. TSA does ask that you pull those liquid medicines or that CPAP machine or the distilled water out and put them on the conveyor belt, just so they don't have to take up time for the employees to whisk you away, so that they can investigate this liquid that they found, and so that they don't hold up the line of the people behind you. Just pull all of those things out in addition to your regular liquids bag, just to save time and be more proactive so that they aren't having to investigate you. And give yourself a little bit more time just in case they do need to go through those liquid medicines or your CPAP machine. Just be gracious and know it might happen, but it most likely will not. I have a video about traveling with medicines that I'll put in the iCard and in the description box below. When I travel, I do not even put on my belt at my house before I leave for the airport. I do not put on jewelry until I get through airport security. Because airport security, sometimes my belt makes the ding thing go off, sometimes my watch makes it go off, and then other times it doesn't go off at all. I just don't even want to fool with it and wait until I get to the bathroom or the bench after security or my gate in the airport. TSA wants you to know that you can check the TSA.org website and find an alphabetical list of what you can and cannot bring in checked items and in your carry-on items. You can also ask them a question on that site. It's easier if you go to Facebook and type in Ask TSA, then it says in a bright blue box, send a message or ask question. I think it's send a message. They get back to you within 24 hours most of the time. And TSA also has a YouTube channel like I do, with very short videos that might help a lot of you, especially if you're nervous and this is your first time. I also have a video for first time passengers that I will put in the iCard and then the description box below. Now, TSA has to deal with over 1 million passengers every day. And a lot of them are ignorant. They haven't done their research. They haven't even looked on the website or their airline's website, or they haven't even watched a brilliant, helpful YouTube video to help them have knowledge. And a lot of them are acting very dumb and rude when they go through security. It is the truth, and their patience level is nearly past what they can handle. Any normal person can handle. So we have to be gracious with them. I know some of them are very rude. Some of them are the nicest people, just like flight attendants. If you have a nice one, you have such a great flight. If you have a rude flight attendant, it can ruin your flight. But all that to say is know that they have very little patience. But if you come through knowing what to expect and knowing what you're supposed to do for your responsibility, it might make the situation a little better. Use common sense and then know and use the research that you found. I just try not to be super offended by any rude comment by any of the airport employees. For those of you who stuck around to the end, thank you for visiting my Travel Tips by Laurie YouTube channel. Please click on that bell to let me know that you like this video or that you want more videos like this. The last tip I wanted to share is a customs agent tip. When we were coming back through to America, I was trying to help the line speed along. So we stood in the long line and showed our passport and our blue little slip of paper. When we went to the next section in customs where we show some little documentation, I was trying to help hurry the line. I was trying to be a great citizen of America. And the person before me was done. They were walking off and I went right up with my son. And the agent was like, do not come up here until I call you next time. I mean, no, like, I know you probably didn't mean to. I know you were probably trying to help, but don't do that next time. very sternly, and I said, "Oh, yes, sir." I didn't even explain it. I did not make conversation with the agent. I just said, "Oh, yes, yes, I agree. I will." And showed him my documents. Anyway, I hope these tips will help you go through airport security having the knowledge of what to expect so that you are a responsible traveler and can be also gracious. Thanks for visiting.